Her hand is already on the handle when the voice speaks. Don't. She freezes. The metal is cold, damp like it's been sweating under her palm. The basement door hasn't been opened in years. Not since her mother died. Not since the house went quiet in a way that never felt natural. She doesn't turn around. There is nowhere else the voice could have come from. Who's there? She asks. Silence presses in, thick and close. Then it answers, calm, patient. You took longer than I thought. Her fingers tighten around the handle. I said, who's there? You already know. I don't. Say my name then. I won't play games. You've been playing one your whole life. Her breath stutters. She pulls her hand back like the door burned her. The hallway feels smaller now, walls leaning in. She looks behind her, toward the empty kitchen. Nothing moves. No one stands there. The house is still. You're not real, she says, quieter now. Then why are you shaking? I'm not. You always lie when you're scared. She swallows. Her throat feels dry, like dust has settled inside it. If someone's down there, you better come out. I can't. Why not? You know why. Her eyes flick down to the thin gap beneath the door. Darkness fills it, heavy and complete. No light leaks through. No movement. I haven't opened this door in years, she says. I know. Then how would you know anything? I hear everything. That's not possible. I heard you last night. Her chest tightens. Heard what? You crying in the bathroom. You turned the tap on so no one would hear. Her breath stops. She steps back from the door. That doesn't mean anything, she says quickly. Anyone could guess that. You said his name. She shakes her head. Stop. You said it like you were asking him to come back. Stop. You said you were sorry. Her voice cracks. I said stop. Silence again, but it doesn't feel empty. It feels like something waiting, watching from just below the floor. You shouldn't be here, she whispers. I've always been here. No. Yes. This house was built by my grandfather. And what was here before? She doesn't answer. The question hangs between them. Open the door, the voice says. No. You already want to. I don't. You've been standing there for 10 minutes. Her eyes flick to the clock on the wall. She hadn't noticed the time passing. Her hand moves again, almost without her telling it to. Don't, the voice repeats, softer now. Her hand stops midair. You just told me to open it. I changed my mind. Why? Because you're not ready. For what? For the truth. She lets out a sharp breath. This is insane. You said that once before. When? The night she went missing. Her body goes still. Completely still. Don't, she says again, but now it's her voice begging. You remember, the voice says. I was a kid. You remember the sound. I don't. The way she screamed your name. I don't remember that. You do. Her knees feel weak. She leans against the wall, sliding down just a little. I didn't do anything, she says. I know. I couldn't. I know. I was scared. I know. Then why are you saying this? Because you never said it out loud. Tears press behind her eyes. She wipes them away fast, angry. You don't get to talk about her, she says. I was there. That's not possible. I heard everything. You keep saying that. Because it's true. She looks at the door again. The paint is chipped near the bottom. She remembers that. She remembers scratching it as a child, dragging something sharp across the surface without knowing why. You're lying, she says, weaker now. Then open it. I'm not opening it. Then walk away. She doesn't move. Walk away, the voice repeats. Her hand rises again. Slow this time. Careful. Like she's reaching for something that might bite. Why are you doing this? She asks. Because you came back. I had nowhere else to go. You always had a choice. No, I didn't. You chose silence. Her fingers curl around the handle again. You chose to forget. I didn't forget. You buried it. Her grip tightens. You buried her before the ground did. Her breath breaks. A sharp, sudden sound. That's not true, she says. Open the door. No. Then say her name. I won't. Say it. No. Say it. Her voice comes out small, almost gone. I can't. You can. I can't. Silence again. Heavy. Waiting. Then the voice softens, almost kind. You're still standing here. She doesn't answer. Open it, the voice whispers. Her hand trembles. The door creaks, just a little, like it's already begun to move. She doesn't realize she's on her knees until the wood presses into them. The door is still closed. The handle is still in her hand. The voice is closer now, not louder, just nearer, like it has moved up the stairs without making a sound. Say her name. She shakes her head fast. No. Say it. I said no. You used to say it all the time. Her fingers tighten. Stop. You whispered it when you were alone. I said stop. You called for her that night. Her breath breaks. I didn't. You did. I don't remember that. You remember everything. I don't. You just pretend you don't. She presses her forehead against the door. It's colder than it should be. Like it's been buried. I was a child, she says. You watched. I couldn't stop it. But you never told. Her eyes shut tight. I couldn't. You didn't even try. I was scared. So was she. The words hit harder than anything else. She pulls back from the door, shaking now. I didn't know what to do. You knew enough to hide. I didn't hide. You ran. I went for help. You went home. Her mouth opens, but nothing comes out. You washed your hands, the voice says. Her stomach turns. No. You scrubbed until your skin went red. That's not true. You didn't want to see the dirt. There was no dirt. There was. Her hands start to tremble. She looks down at them like she might still see it there. I didn't touch her, she whispers. You touched the ground. I don't remember that. You pushed the dirt back in. Her breath catches sharp and painful. Stop. You covered the hole. I didn't. You made it look like nothing happened. That's not true. You made it quiet. She shakes her head again, faster now, like she can shake the words out of the air. You're lying. Then why are you crying? She wipes her face hard. I'm not. You always lie when you're scared. I'm not scared. You won't even say her name. Silence stretches. Her throat tightens. I can't, she whispers. You can. I can't. Say it. Her lips part. Nothing comes out. Just breath. You buried her before the ground did. Her whole body goes still. The words land deeper this time, like they've found something inside her. That's not what happened, she says, but it sounds wrong even to her. Then tell me what did. I told you. I don't remember. You remember the sound. I don't. The way she tried to crawl. Her nails dig into the wood. Stop. The way she kept saying your name. I said stop. The way it went quiet. Stop. Her voice cracks loud in the hallway. The house swallows it. Silence follows. Heavy. Waiting. Then the voice speaks again, softer. You left her there. She shakes her head, but slower now. Weaker. I thought she was already. She can't finish. You didn't check. I couldn't. You didn't want to know. Tears slip down her face, quiet now. I was a child, she says again. You were the only one who saw. I didn't see everything. You saw enough. Her chest rises and falls too fast. The air feels thin. This doesn't make sense, she whispers. How would you know any of this? I was there. That's not possible. I heard it all. You keep saying that. Because it's true. There was no one else there. There was. She looks at the door again. The thin gap at the bottom. The darkness inside. That place was empty, she says. No. It was just dirt. No. There was nothing under it. I was. Her breath catches. That's not possible, she says again, but it sounds weaker now, like she's trying to convince herself. I've always been under you. The words settle slow, heavy. What does that mean, she asks. It means I heard your mother too. Her head lifts. What? She stood right where you are. No, she didn't. She talked to me. No. She begged me to stop. Her heart starts to pound. My mother never came down here. She never told you. She would have. She didn't want you to hear me. That's not true. She knew what I was. And what is that? Silence again. Longer this time. Then the voice answers, quiet and close. I'm what you left behind. Her grip on the handle tightens again. The metal creaks. You're not real, she says. Then open the door. I'm not opening it. Then walk away. She doesn't move. You can't, can you? The voice says. Her hand trembles. No. Because you want to know. I don't. You do. She leans closer to the door, her ear almost touching the wood. Say her name, the voice whispers. Her lips shake. Emily. The name barely leaves her mouth. The silence that follows feels different. Heavier. Satisfied. See, the voice says softly. You remember. She pulls back from the door like the word burned her tongue, but the basement stays silent now, heavy and waiting as if it is listening for more. She stands up slowly, breathing hard, and the house feels wrong in a new way, like it has finally noticed her. She whispers. No answer comes from below, only stillness that feels alive. She turns away from the door, but the voice follows anyway. You said it now, it says softly. Stop, she says out loud. She walks fast through the hallway, grabbing her coat with shaking hands. You finally said her name, the voice continues. I said stop, she snaps. She opens the front door and cold air hits her face like a slap. She steps outside into the yard where everything looks normal, too normal, like nothing underneath ever mattered. You can't leave me now, it says. I'm not talking to you, she mutters. But her feet keep moving toward the road, dust rising behind her steps. The sheriff's office is the only place she can think of, even though she doesn't want to go there. She reaches the building, old wood sign swinging slightly in the wind. The door creaks when she pushes it open. Inside, the sheriff looks up slowly, like he already expected her. You shouldn't be here, he says. Something is in my house, she says. He sighs like a man tired of hearing the same fear. No one is in your house, he says. You don't understand, she replies. Try me, he says. She steps closer, her voice shaking. It knows things about me. The sheriff goes still for a second too long. What things, he asks carefully. About Emily, she says. His face changes just slightly, but enough for her to notice. Don't say that name here, he says low. So you do know, she says. Silence stretches between them, thick and heavy. Go home, he says finally. No, she says. Listen to me, he leans forward. Some things are buried for a reason. She was a child, she says, voice breaking. And you think I don't know that, he snaps, then controls himself. You need to stop digging, he says softer. Or what, she asks. He looks at her like pity and warning mixed. Or it won't stop with you, he says. She steps back from the desk, eyes locked on him. You were there, weren't you, she says. He doesn't answer. You all were, she continues. That night. He rubs his face slowly. You don't know what you're asking for, he says. I know enough, she replies. A radio crackles in the corner of the room. The sheriff reaches to turn it down but stops. The voice comes through the static, faint but familiar. You brought her here, it says. She freezes. The sheriff goes pale. Turn it off, she says. I can't, he whispers. The radio repeats softer now. You always bring them back. She steps toward it. That's not possible, she says. The sheriff finally speaks quiet. It started after she went missing, he says. She stares at him. So I'm not crazy, she says. He exhales. No, he says, you're just late. Late for what, she asks. He looks toward the window. For hearing it clearly, he says. The radio clicks once more like a breath. Go home, the sheriff says again, but softer. She doesn't move. It's already in my house, she says. Silence falls. The sheriff whispers finally, then don't open anything again. She is already halfway back home when she realizes the silence behind her has changed. It is not gone. It is following her differently now, like it no longer needs the basement to speak. The road is empty, dry dirt cutting straight through flat land and tired grass. Her steps slow as the house comes into view in the distance, small and wrong looking under the pale sky. You told him, the voice says. She stops walking. Stop talking to me. You told him about me. I didn't say anything specific. You said enough. She keeps moving again, faster now. Just leave me alone. I can't. The house grows closer. The front door looks untouched, same as always, same as if nothing is waiting inside it. That makes her more afraid than anything else. She reaches the porch, hesitates only a second, then pushes the door open. The air inside is colder than outside. She steps in. The door shuts behind her on its own. Her breath catches. No. From below, the voice answers immediately. You came back. I didn't have anywhere else to go. There is always somewhere else. I tried that. Not hard enough. She stands in the middle of the room, listening. Every corner of the house feels too still, like it is holding itself back from breathing. I went to the sheriff, she says. I know. He didn't help. He won't. Why? Because he was there. Her stomach tightens. That's not true. You already know it is. She shakes her head. You're making this up. Then open the door. Her eyes snap to the basement door. It looks the same as before. Ordinary wood. Old paint. Quiet. Too quiet. No, she says. You already opened it once. I didn't open it fully. You listened. That's not the same. It is to me. She walks closer to the door slowly, like her body is not fully agreeing with her decision. What are you? She asks again. The voice pauses. Closer. She stops right in front of it. Closer, it repeats. She kneels without meaning to. Her ear almost touches the wood again. You hear me better like this, the voice says. I don't want to hear you. You do. A sharp breath escapes her. Why are you doing this to me? I am not doing it. Then what is this? A pause. Memory, it says. Her fingers press into the floor. That doesn't make sense. It does if you stop lying. I'm not lying. You lied to yourself first. She closes her eyes hard. I was a child. You were there. I didn't do anything. You didn't stop it. I couldn't. You didn't try. Her voice cracks. I was scared. So was she. The name hits her again without being spoken. Emily. It sits in the air like dust that never settles. I didn't push her, she says suddenly. I didn't say you did. She fell. Silence. She fell, she repeats louder. You watched her fall, the voice says calmly. I didn't push her. But you watched. Her hands tremble. I called for help. You ran first. I came back. Too late. Her throat tightens. Stop. You covered the hole. I didn't. You did what you were told. No one told me anything. You were told to forget. Her breath turns shallow. By who? Silence again, heavier now. Then the voice answers softly. Everyone. She sits back on her heels, shaking. I don't understand any of this. You will. No, I won't. You already are. Her head lifts slightly. If you know everything about me, she says, then tell me who you are. A long pause. Then. I am what stayed. She swallows hard. Stayed where? Under what you buried. Her eyes drift to the basement door again. It feels closer now even though it hasn't moved. I'm not opening it, she whispers. You already did, the voice says. Her body goes still. What? You just didn't go all the way down. A low sound comes from beneath the floor. Not a knock. Not a scratch. Something slower. Like breathing that has been waiting a long time. Her hands press flat against the wood. No, she whispers. The voice is suddenly right there, almost gentle. Go down. She doesn't realize she is standing until her knees unlock and she sways slightly, still facing the basement door. The house feels tighter now, like the walls have moved in while she wasn't looking. The sound from below is gone, but the absence of it is worse. It feels like something has leaned back, waiting to see what she will do next. You're still here, the voice says softly. She swallows hard. Stop talking. You never told her. Her fingers twitch. Told who? Your mother. Her breath catches. Don't bring her into this. She already was in it. No, she snaps. She wasn't. A pause, slow and deliberate. She stood right where you are, the voice says. She shakes her head fast. That's not true. You think she never came down here? She hated this basement. She feared it. She avoided it. Because she heard me too. Her throat tightens. No. She just didn't call it what it was. She would have told me. Would she? Silence hits hard. She hates that it lands. She kept you away for a reason, the voice continues. She kept me away because it was a basement. She kept you away because of me. Her voice rises. Stop saying that. Your mother begged me once. That's not possible. She begged me to stop speaking to you. Her chest tightens. You're lying. Why would I lie about that? Because you're not real. A quiet breath-like sound comes from below, almost like laughter without joy. I was real to her. She presses her hand to her forehead. No. She cried down here. You're making this up. She said your name first. Her hand drops. What? She was trying to protect you. From what? From hearing me. Her voice breaks slightly. She never said anything about this. She said everything without words. A long silence follows. The house feels too still again, like it is holding its breath. She used to stand at the top of these stairs, the voice says. Just like you. She looks at the basement door again. The wood feels older now, like it has been there longer than the house itself. What did she want? She whispers. To forget me. And did she? No. Her stomach tightens. Then why didn't she tell me? Because she knew what happens when you speak. She shakes her head. Nothing happens. You think that. I know that. Then why did she leave? Her throat tightens. She didn't leave. She did. She died. Silence. Not denial this time. Just stillness. The voice softens. And you never asked what she was afraid of. Her eyes burn. I didn't need to. You did. I was a kid. And she still didn't tell you. She protected me. Or she protected herself. Her breath shakes. Stop. You think she died quietly. I don't think anything. She died with me still speaking. Her hands curl into fists. That's not real. Then why are you standing here listening? She doesn't answer. A low creak rolls through the floorboards beneath her feet. Slow. Deliberate. Her body stiffens. What was that? Her, the voice says simply. Her eyes widen. No. She's still here. That's not possible. She never left this house. She steps back instinctively. Stop saying that. You buried more than one thing. Her voice rises again, shaking now. I didn't bury anything. You did what you were told. I was a child. And children still remember. She presses her back against the wall, breathing too fast. What do you want from me? She asks. A pause. Say it, the voice replies. Say what? You already know. I don't. Yes, you do. Her lips part but nothing comes out. The basement door creaks slightly. Not opening. Not closing. Just shifting. She flinches. I didn't touch it. You don't need to. Her eyes stay locked on the door. What is down there? Silence stretches long enough to feel wrong. Then. The thing you refuse to call truth, the voice says. Her voice turns small. Emily? A pause. Yes. Her knees weaken slightly. She's dead. Not all of her. That's not possible. She stayed because you didn't finish what you started. Her head shakes slowly. I didn't start anything. You ran. I was a child. You ran. I came back. Too late. Her breath breaks. What do you want from me? A long pause again. Then the voice answers, close, steady, certain. To open what you closed. She is already moving before she understands it. Her hand is on the basement handle again, but this time it doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like something pulling through her arm, slow and steady, like the house has finally learned how to guide her. No, she whispers. No, no, no. You don't have to be afraid, the voice says. I am afraid. Because you still think you're alone in this. Her fingers tighten. I am alone. A pause. Then who did you tell in town? The voice asks. Her hand freezes. I didn't tell anyone anything, she says quickly. You went to the sheriff. That doesn't count. You told him her name. I had to. And what did he do? Her jaw tightens. Nothing. Because he already knew. She shakes her head. No. You saw it in his face. That was nothing. It was recognition. Her grip on the handle loosens slightly. Her voice lowers. You're trying to confuse me. I'm telling you what already happened. She pulls her hand away from the door like it burned her again. Stop talking like you were there. I was. You weren't. I heard it. You keep saying that. Because you keep refusing to listen. She turns away from the basement door and walks fast into the kitchen, grabbing the edge of the counter like it will hold her upright. Emily is dead, she says out loud. She's gone. Silence follows. Then. Tell me how she died, the voice says. Her breath catches. I don't know. Yes, you do. I don't. You were there. I was a child. And children still see. She closes her eyes. I don't want this. You already have it. Her voice rises. Stop pushing me. Say it, the voice replies. Say what? What happened that night? Her throat tightens. Nothing happened. Silence. Then the voice, sharper now. Say it. Her hands start shaking. I don't remember. You remember the road. I don't. You remember running. I didn't run. You remember screaming. Her breath breaks. Stop. You remember her name in the dark. I said stop. The kitchen feels suddenly colder. She opens her eyes. And she sees it. Not a person. Not a shape. Just a memory that doesn't belong in the room. Mud. A fence. A broken gate swinging slowly. Her stomach drops. No, she whispers. No, that's not here. You're seeing it, the voice says. I'm not. You are. She stumbles back from the counter. This is not real. It is what you refuse to finish. Her breathing turns shallow. I don't want to see this. You already saw it once. I was a child. And she was calling you. Her hands go to her ears. Stop it. She called your name. I don't want to hear this. And you walked away. I didn't. You left her behind. I didn't leave her. Her voice breaks into a shout. Silence snaps back instantly. The kitchen feels empty again. Too empty. Then the voice speaks, lower. She was still alive when you left. Her knees nearly give out. No, she whispers. No. You didn't check. I couldn't. You didn't want to see. I didn't know. You knew enough. Her breath turns uneven. This isn't real. It is the part you buried. I didn't bury anything. You buried her before the ground did. Her vision blurs slightly. She wipes her face hard, angry at herself. What happened to her? She asks, quieter now. Silence stretches. Then. They came, the voice says. Her body stills. Who? She whispers. You know who. Her throat tightens. No. The ones who own the town without saying it. She shakes her head. No, no, no. You saw them. I didn't see anything. You saw the truck. Her breath catches. You saw the lights. Her hands start shaking again. Stop. You saw her taken. I didn't see that. You watched. I didn't. You did nothing. I was a child. And children still remember faces. Her chest tightens painfully. I don't want this memory. It is not a memory, the voice says. It is a truth you never named. Her voice cracks. Why are you telling me this? Because you finally said her name. Her eyes widen slightly. Emily. A pause. Yes, the voice says. Something deep in the house shifts again. Not loud. Not dramatic. Just a change in pressure. Like something underneath has turned its head. And is now listening more closely than before. She doesn't realize she is walking back toward the basement until her hand is already on the door again, fingers pressing into the wood like it is the only solid thing left in the house. Her breath is uneven. The memory still burns behind her eyes, but it feels less like something she saw and more like something forced into her. You did it, the voice says softly. I didn't do anything, she whispers. You opened it. I didn't open anything. You let it in. Her grip tightens. I didn't let anything in. A pause, slow and heavy. Look at the floor, the voice says. She hesitates. Then looks down. The wood near the basement door is darker than she remembers. Not fresh damage. Older. Like something soaked into it long ago and never left. Her stomach tightens. That wasn't there before, she says. It has always been there. She shakes her head. No. You just stopped noticing. Her hand slowly leaves the door and presses against the floorboards. They feel colder than the rest of the house. What is this place? She asks. Silence. Then. Ask your grandfather, the voice says. Her throat tightens. He built this house. Did he? Yes. Or did he build over something? Her jaw clenches. You're making this up. Then why do you avoid this room? I don't avoid it. You do. I live here. You sleep upstairs like the basement doesn't exist. Her breath catches slightly. That's normal, she says quickly. For someone who doesn't hear me, the voice replies. She steps back from the floor like it might open under her. What are you talking about? A long pause. Then the voice speaks slower. This house was not empty when your family arrived. Her chest tightens. It was land. It was already marked. By who? Silence again. Then. By what was buried before them. Her voice drops. Buried what? A soft creak rolls through the basement door like a slow breath. People, the voice says. Her stomach turns. That's not true. You think your family built this house on empty ground. That's what I was told. You were told what keeps you sleeping at night. She shakes her head harder. No. You want truth, the voice asks. I want you to stop. That is not truth. Her hands press against the door again, but weaker now. Just tell me what you are. A pause. Then. I am what stayed when the house forgot. Her breath catches. That doesn't make sense. It does if you listen. I am listening. No, the voice says gently. You are surviving. She swallows hard. If this place is what you say it is, then why me? A longer pause this time. Then. Because you heard her too. Her body stills. That night, the voice continues, you were not the only one listening. Her voice cracks. Stop bringing her into this. She was calling you. I already told you I don't remember that. You remember the fear. Her chest rises unevenly. Everyone remembers fear. You remember standing at the edge. I was a child. And children still stand too close to things they shouldn't. Her fingers curl against the wood. What is under this house? Silence. Then. A wound, the voice says. Her throat tightens. That's not an answer. It is the only honest one. She shakes her head. No. You want a name for it? Yes. A pause. Then. Everything your town agreed not to speak about. Her breath catches. You don't understand, she whispers. You understand more than you admit. I don't. You were raised on it. Her voice sharpens. On what? Silence stretches. Then the voice answers, quieter. On silence. She steps back slowly. That's not real. It is the reason your sheriff looked away. Her jaw tightens. Leave him out of this. He is already inside it. No. He stood here before. Her eyes widen slightly. What? He came down these stairs. That's not possible. He was younger then. Her breathing turned shallow. Stop. He heard me too. She shakes her head fast. No, no, no. And he chose silence. Her voice rises. You're lying. Ask him. I won't. Because you already know the answer. Her hand lifts again toward the basement door, trembling. What happens if I open it all the way? She asks. A long pause. Then. You will remember what your family buried here. Her voice breaks slightly. And Emily? Silence again. Then softer. She never left it. Her knees weaken slightly. That's not possible. It is why you hear her name in your sleep. She closes her eyes. The house feels suddenly deeper than before. Like it is no longer just one level above something else, but layered over many things she was never meant to find. Her hand rests on the door again, but she doesn't open it. Not yet. Below her, something shifts. And this time, it feels like it is waiting for her to decide. Her hand stays on the basement door, but she is not pressing it anymore. She is listening again, like she hates herself for it and can't stop. The house feels wrong in a slower way now, not loud, not sudden, just deep and steady, like something has settled into place and decided it will not move again. You're still hesitating, the voice says. I'm thinking, she replies. You don't need to think. I do. A pause. Thinking is what got you here, the voice says. Her jaw tightens. I didn't ask for any of this. No one does. She steps back from the door finally, breathing hard, and looks around the room like it might explain itself. It doesn't. It never does. The kitchen is the same as always. The hallway is the same. But nothing feels the same anymore. What are you doing to me? She asks. Silence. Then. I am not doing anything, the voice says. You're inside my house. I am inside your memory. That's not possible. You said that before. Her hands curl into fists. Stop repeating me. You repeat yourself too. She turns sharply toward the basement door again. What do you want from me? A pause. Then the voice answers, slower than before. To stop being ignored. Her breath catches slightly. Ignored by who? Everyone who built this place. She shakes her head. This is just a house. A low sound moves through the floor again. Not a knock this time. More like pressure shifting underneath her feet. No, the voice says. Her throat tightens. Then what is it? A pause that lasts too long. Then. A place where things were put so no one had to look at them again. Her stomach turns slightly. That doesn't make sense. It does to the ones who did it. She steps back, eyes scanning the walls like they might hide something. You keep saying they. Who is they? Silence again. Then. Your town, the voice says. Her chest tightens. My town didn't do anything. They agreed. No. They agreed not to speak. That's not the same. It is the same everywhere. She shakes her head, voice rising slightly. You're trying to make it sound like everyone is guilty. A pause. Then. They are. Her breath sharpens. No. You want one person to blame, the voice continues. That makes it easier to live. I don't want anything. Yes, you do. I want this to stop. You want it to make sense. She freezes slightly. That hits closer than she wants it to. I don't understand any of this, she says quietly. You were not meant to. Her eyes drift again to the basement door. It looks heavier now. Like it has aged in front of her. What is under there? She asks again. Silence. Then the voice changes tone slightly. Not louder. Not softer. Just more certain. Not under, it says. Her brow furrows. What? Not under the house. Her heart beats faster. Then where? A long pause. Then. The house is on top of it. Her throat tightens. That's not possible. You stand above it every day. Her breathing becomes uneven again. Stop saying things like that. You feel it when you walk across the floor. I don't. You do. She presses her palm to the ground without thinking. The wood feels colder than before. A small shiver runs through her. She pulls her hand back quickly. No. You just felt it, the voice says. That's nothing. It remembers weight. Her voice drops slightly. What does that mean? Silence. Then. This place was built over what should have stayed seen. Her chest tightens. You're not answering my question. I am. No, you're not. A pause. Then the voice speaks quieter, almost careful. People were put here, it says. Her breath stops slightly. Not just one, it continues. Her hand slowly lifts to her mouth. That's not true, she whispers. It is why the ground never feels stable to you. She shakes her head fast. No. No, that's not real. You feel it when you stand still too long. I don't. You do. Her voice cracks slightly. Why are you telling me this? Because you asked what is under the house. I didn't ask for that. You did. She stares at the basement door again, but now it feels farther away and closer at the same time. Who did this? She whispers. A long silence. Then. The ones who still walk freely above it, the voice says. Her throat tightens. The sheriff? A pause. Not just him, the voice replies. Her chest rises unevenly. My family? Silence again. Heavier. Then. Your family built over what was already there. Her voice turns almost small. So you're saying we're living on graves? A pause. Then the voice answers simply. Yes. She steps back slowly until her back hits the wall. The house feels suddenly less like a home and more like something balanced carefully over something it does not want to wake. Her eyes stay fixed on the basement door. And for the first time, she is not sure if it is keeping something in. Or keeping something from coming out. She stays pressed against the wall, not moving, like movement itself might trigger something she cannot undo. The basement door sits across from her like it has always been there, but now it feels less like a door and more like a decision waiting to be made. The house is quiet again, but it is not the same quiet. It feels aware of her hesitation. You're not leaving, the voice says. Her throat tightens. I could. But you won't. She swallows hard. I need time. You've had time. I need to think. A pause. Thinking is how you keep this buried, the voice replies. Her jaw tightens. I didn't bury anything. You were taught how. She looks away from the door, toward the kitchen window, toward anything that is not this. Why me? She asks again, quieter now. A long silence follows. Then. Because you heard her, the voice says. Her breath catches slightly. Emily? Yes. I was a child. And she still called you. Her chest tightens. I told you I don't remember that. You remember enough. I don't. You do. She presses her fingers against her forehead. What do you want from me now? A pause. Then the voice shifts, calmer but heavier. To finish what you avoided, it says. Her voice rises slightly. I was a child. I already told you that. And she was still there. I couldn't help her. You could have told someone. I was scared. So were all of you. Her hands drop slowly to her sides. All of who? Silence stretches. Then. Everyone who heard it and stayed quiet, the voice says. Her eyes flick back to the basement door. You keep saying that like it's some kind of choice people made together. It was. That doesn't make sense. It does when fear spreads far enough. She shakes her head slowly. No. That's not how people work. A pause. Then. It is how towns work, the voice replies. Her voice turns sharper. You don't know anything about towns. I know this one. Her breath shakes slightly. You keep talking like you've been watching everything. I have been. That's not possible. You already accepted worse than that. She hesitates. The basement feels closer again even though she hasn't moved. What happens if I open it? She asks quietly. Silence. Longer than before. Then. You stop guessing, the voice says. Her throat tightens. That's not an answer. It is the only honest one. Her hand lifts slightly without her meaning it to, then stops halfway. I don't want to see anything else, she says. You already have. I don't want to go down there. You are already above it. Her chest rises unevenly. That doesn't mean I have to go in. No, the voice agrees softly. It doesn't. A pause. Then. But it means you already know it's there. She lowers her hand slowly. If I open it, what changes? Another pause, heavier. Then the voice answers. Nothing that wasn't already broken, it says. Her eyes narrow slightly. That's not comforting. It was never meant to be. She looks at the basement door again. Her reflection faintly shows in the wood, warped and unclear. I can't be the one who deals with this, she says. A pause. Then. You already are, the voice replies. Her voice rises. No. There are people in this town. The sheriff. The council. Someone else. Silence. Then the voice responds quietly. They chose not to open it. That's not my responsibility. It became your house. Her breath catches. What does that mean? A long pause. Then. It listens to you now, the voice says. Her stomach tightens. Stop saying things like that. It is why I know your name. She steps forward slightly without realizing it. If I open it, do you stop? A pause. Then. No, the voice says. Her breath stutters. Then why would I do it? Silence stretches again, but this time it feels different. Less like waiting. More like watching. Then. Because if you don't, the voice says, you will never stop hearing me. Her hands curl into fists. And if I do? A long pause. Then the voice answers, softer than before. Then you finally see why I was never silent. She stands in the middle of the room for a long time after that, not moving, like movement might break something already hanging by a thread. The basement door doesn't speak again. The house doesn't speak again. That silence feels intentional now, like it is giving her space to decide what kind of person she is going to become in the next minute.